I'm staring at the powder residue at the bottom of my coffee cup when my husband grabs it from the counter and takes a long drink. "Michael, wait." The words come out too late. He's already swallowing, already grimacing at the taste, already setting the cup back down with a confused expression. "This coffee tastes weird," he says, wiping his mouth. "Did you use different beans or something?" My heart is hammering against my ribs so hard I can hear it in my ears. That was my cup. The one I'd just made for myself. The one I'd set on the counter to cool while I went to get my phone from the bedroom. The one that, 30 seconds ago, had a fine white powder settling at the bottom that definitely wasn't sugar or creamer. "Are you okay?" I ask, and my voice sounds strangled even to my own ears. "Yeah, just tastes off. Kind of bitter." He's already moving on, checking his phone, completely unconcerned. I'm heading out. "Dentist appointment at 10, remember?" I don't remember, but I nod anyway, watching him grab his keys, watching him walk toward the door, watching him leave our Seattle townhouse like it's any other Thursday morning. The door closes behind him, and I'm alone with the coffee cup and the knowledge that something is very, very wrong. I pick up the cup with shaking hands. There's still liquid at the bottom, cloudy with undissolved powder. I smell it. Coffee, yes, but something else underneath. Chemical, medicinal, wrong. Someone put something in my coffee, and my husband just drank it. I pour the remaining liquid into a mason jar, seal it tight, and hide it in the back of the pantry behind the pasta boxes. Then I stand in my kitchen, trying to think, trying to breathe, trying to understand what just happened. Who had access to my coffee? I'd made it myself, poured it into my favorite blue mug, the one Michael never uses because he says it's too small. I'd set it on the counter to cool while I went to the bedroom. The house was empty, just us. Nobody else has keys except my mother-in-law Caroline, and she's in Portland visiting her sister this week. Unless she isn't. The thought crystallizes with horrible clarity. Caroline has been increasingly hostile toward me over the past 6 months. Snide comments about my career, pointed questions about when we're having children, suggestions that Michael could do better. Last month at Sunday dinner, she'd told Michael, right in front of me, that his father had married the wrong woman the first time too. But at least he'd had the sense to leave before it was too late. Michael had laughed it off. Said his mother was just old-fashioned, didn't mean anything by it. But I'd seen the look in Caroline's eyes. She meant every word. My phone buzzes. Text from Michael. Feeling kind of nauseous. Probably just nerves about the dentist. Love you. I stare at the message. Nauseous. He drank whatever was in that coffee 20 minutes ago, and he's already feeling sick. I call him. It goes to voicemail. I call again. Same thing. Then I do what I should have done first. I call Poison Control. Poison Control, this is Jennifer speaking. What's your emergency? My husband drank something that I think was poisoned. He's not answering his phone. I don't know what was in it, but there was white powder at the bottom of the cup. I'm pacing now, words tumbling out too fast. He said he felt nauseous. He left 20 minutes ago for a dentist appointment. Okay, take a deep breath. Where is your husband now? I don't know. Driving somewhere. He has a dentist appointment at 10, but I don't know which dentist. I'm already pulling up our shared calendar on my phone, searching for the appointment. Nothing there. He said he had an appointment, but it's not on our calendar. Do you have the substance he ingested? Can you describe it? White powder. Dissolved in coffee. Chemical smell. I saved the rest in a jar. Good. That's very good. We'll need that for testing. Now, the most important thing is locating your husband. Do you have Find My Friends or any location sharing set up? I pull up the app. Michael's location shows him on I-5 North, heading away from downtown Seattle. Not toward any dentist I know of. Moving fast. He's on the highway, I tell Jennifer. Heading north. Should I call 911? Yes. Call 911, give them his location, tell them you suspect poisoning. They can dispatch emergency services to his location. Do you want me to stay on the line? No, thank you. I'm calling now. I hang up and dial 911, giving them Michael's location, his car make and model, the situation. The dispatcher is calm, professional, assuring me they're sending someone. She asks me to stay on the line, to keep tracking his location, to update her if anything changes. Michael's dot on the map suddenly stops moving. He's pulled over on the side of the highway near Everett, about 20 miles north of Seattle. He stopped, I tell the dispatcher. Near exit 189. Units are en route. AITA 3 minutes. Ma'am, do you have any idea what substance he ingested? No, but I think someone put it in my coffee. It was meant for me, and he drank it by mistake. Do you know who might have done this? I hesitate, because saying it out loud makes it real, makes it an accusation I can't take back. But Michael is on the side of the highway, possibly dying, and I need to tell the truth. I think it was my mother-in-law, Caroline Hayes. She has keys to our house. The dispatcher takes down the information. I can hear sirens in the background now, distant but getting closer. Minutes pass like hours. I'm still on the line, still tracking Michael's location, when the dispatcher tells me emergency services have arrived on scene. They're with him now, she says. They're transporting him to Providence Regional Medical Center in Everett. You should meet them there. I'm already grabbing my keys, the mason jar from the pantry, my phone. I'm in my car driving north, hands shaking on the wheel. Traffic is slow, agonizing. I call Michael's phone 7 times. No answer. The hospital is chaos. Emergency vehicles, people rushing, the smell of antiseptic and fear. I give them my name at the front desk, and a nurse escorts me to a private waiting room. Your husband is stable, she tells me, but he's very sick. The doctors are running tests now to determine what he ingested. Do you have the substance? I hand her the mason jar. She looks at it carefully, makes notes, disappears through double doors. I wait. The waiting room is beige and awful, with magazines nobody reads, and a TV playing the news on mute. I'm alone with my thoughts, and my thoughts are terrifying. If Michael hadn't grabbed my cup, if he'd made his own coffee like usual, if I'd taken just one sip before he came into the kitchen, would I be the one in the ER right now? Would I be unconscious, dying, while Michael waited in this terrible beige room? Someone wanted me dead. Someone who has access to my home, to my kitchen, to my morning routine. Someone who knew I make coffee the same way every single day. 1 cup, blue mug on the counter while I get ready. Caroline. It has to be Caroline. A doctor appears in the doorway. He's young, maybe 40, with tired eyes and a kind face. Mrs. Hayes? I'm Dr. Patel. Your husband is stable, but we need to talk about what happened. I follow him to a small consultation room. He sits across from me, holding a tablet with test results. Your husband ingested a significant amount of antifreeze, he says without preamble. Ethylene glycol, to be specific. It's extremely toxic, and if you hadn't called 911 when you did, he would likely have died within hours. Antifreeze. The word sits between us like a bomb. The substance you saved, we tested it. It's ethylene glycol mixed with what appears to be instant coffee creamer, probably to mask the taste and help it dissolve. Dr. Patel leans forward. Mrs. Hayes, your husband told the paramedics that he drank your coffee by mistake, that it was made for you. Is that correct? Yes. Then someone tried to poison you, and your husband drank it instead. He pauses, letting that sink in. We've already notified the police. They'll want to talk to you. But first I need to ask, do you have any idea who might have done this? My mother-in-law, Caroline Hayes. She has keys to our house. She's been... I trail off, not sure how to explain 6 months of escalating hostility. She doesn't like me. She's made that very clear. Dr. Patel makes notes. The police will need to know this. In the meantime, your husband will need to stay here for at least 48 hours. We're treating him with fompazole, an antidote for ethylene glycol poisoning. He's lucky. He didn't drink much, and treatment started quickly. He should make a full recovery. Relief floods through me so intensely I almost cry. Can I see him? Not yet. He's resting. But soon. Dr. Patel stands. There's a detective here to see you. Detective Sarah Chen. She's waiting outside. Detective Chen is in her 50s, sharp-eyed, with gray hair pulled into a tight bun. She introduces herself, shows her badge, and asks if we can talk somewhere private. We end up in the same consultation room, her with a notepad, me with my hands twisted in my lap. Tell me everything, she says. Start from this morning. I walk her through it. Making coffee, setting it on the counter, going to get my phone, coming back to find Michael drinking from my cup. The powder residue, his text about feeling nauseous, the location tracking, everything. And you suspect your mother-in-law, Caroline Hayes. Yes, why? I tell her about the escalating hostility, the comments, the keys. It sounds thin, even to my own ears. Circumstantial. But Detective Chen just nods, writing everything down. Where is Caroline Hayes right now? She told us she was in Portland, visiting her sister, but I don't know if that's true. We'll check. Do you have her contact information? I give her Caroline's address in Ballard, her phone number, her sister's name in Portland. Detective Chen makes more notes. Mrs. Hayes, I need to ask you something directly. Is there any reason someone else might want to harm you? Anyone besides your mother-in-law? No, I'm a software engineer at Microsoft. I work from home most days. I don't have enemies. I pause, thinking about this. At least I didn't think I did. What about your marriage? Any problems there? No, we're happy. We've been married for 3 years. No affairs, no financial issues, nothing like that. But even as I say it, I'm wondering, are we happy? Or have I just been telling myself we're happy while ignoring signs that something was wrong? Detective Chen asks more questions about our finances, our social circle, any recent arguments or tensions. I answer as best I can, but my mind keeps circling back to one question. Why would Caroline want me dead? I'm going to send a unit to your house, Detective Chen says. We need to process it as a crime scene. You'll need to stay somewhere else for a few days. Is there somewhere you can go? My best friend Tessa. She lives in Capitol Hill. Good. Go there after you see your husband. And Mrs. Hayes, be careful. Whoever did this is still out there, and they may try again. The words send ice through my veins. I hadn't thought about that. Hadn't considered that saving the poisoned coffee might have just made me a bigger target. They let me see Michael an hour later. He's in a hospital bed, pale and hooked up to IVs but awake. He tries to smile when he sees me. Hey, he says, voice rough. Some dentist appointment, huh? There was no dentist appointment, was there? He has the grace to look guilty. No, I was going to see my mom. She asked me to meet her in Everett, said she needed to talk about something important. Everything clicks into place. Caroline lured him away. She poisoned my coffee knowing he'd be gone, knowing I'd drink it alone, knowing no one would find me for hours. But then Michael grabbed the wrong cup, drank poison meant for me, and ruined her entire plan. Michael, your mother tried to kill me. He blinks, confused. What? No, that's insane. Someone put antifreeze in my coffee this morning. The coffee you drank. It was meant for me. I pull up a chair, sit beside his bed. The only other person with keys to our house is your mother. She lured you away with a fake meeting so I'd be alone. But you grabbed my cup by mistake and drank the poison instead. I watch him process this. Watch the denial shift to uncertainty, then to horrified realization. She wouldn't, he says, but his voice is weak. She's my mother. She wouldn't try to kill you. She almost killed you instead. He closes his eyes. She's been so strange lately. Angry. I thought it was just stress about Dad's estate, about money. But this... What about your dad's estate? He left everything to me when he died last year. The house in Ballard, investments, about $800,000 total. Mom gets to live in the house for life, but the ownership transfers to me. If something happened to me... He trails off. If something happened to you, who inherits? She does. If I die without children, everything reverts to her. The pieces snap together with nauseating clarity. Caroline doesn't just hate me, she needs me gone. If I die, Michael inherits his father's estate outright. If I'm alive and we divorce, I could claim half in community property. But if I die before we have children, Michael gets everything. And if something then happened to Michael, Caroline would get it all back. She's not trying to kill you, I say slowly. She's trying to kill me first, then you. She needs me dead before anything happens to you, or I could inherit part of your father's money. Michael looks sick, and not just from the poison. You really think she'd do that? Kill her own son for money? I think she'd convince herself she was protecting the family legacy. That we don't deserve it. That she's just taking back what's rightfully hers. I lean forward. Michael, she put antifreeze in my coffee. You drank it by mistake, and you almost died. Those are facts. He doesn't argue. Just lies there looking devastated. Detective Chen calls me that evening while I'm at Tessa's apartment. They searched our house, found no evidence of forced entry, but did find traces of ethylene glycol in the kitchen sink drain. Someone had rinsed something there recently. We also checked on Caroline Hayes, Chen says. She's not in Portland. Her sister says she hasn't seen her in months. Caroline's car was spotted on a traffic camera near your neighborhood this morning at 8:47 a.m. We're bringing her in for questioning. Does she know what happened? That Michael drank the poison instead of me? We haven't told her yet. We're letting her think the plan worked. Chen's voice is grim. Sometimes the best way to get a confession is to let the suspect believe they succeeded. I spend the next 36 hours at Tessa's apartment, barely sleeping, jumping at every sound. Tessa is a criminal defense attorney, ironic, given the circumstances, and she's both supportive and professionally horrified by the situation. If they can prove Caroline did this, she's looking at attempted murder, Tessa tells me over takeout Chinese food. In Washington state, that's life in prison, potentially. But they'll need more than circumstantial evidence. They have the poison. They have her car on camera near our house. They have motive, all circumstantial. They need a confession, or physical evidence linking her directly to the crime. Fingerprints on the antifreeze container, security footage showing her inside your house, something concrete. My phone rings. Detective Chen. We questioned Caroline Hayes, she says without preamble. She denies everything, says she was home all morning, has no idea what we're talking about. We searched her house with a warrant. No antifreeze, no evidence of planning. We had to let her go. My stomach drops. So that's it? She just gets away with it? I didn't say that. Chen's voice shifts, becomes almost conspiratorial. Mrs. Hayes, I've been doing this job for 23 years. I know a guilty person when I see one. Caroline is guilty, but we need proof. And I think you might be able to help us get it. How? She thinks you're dead or dying. She doesn't know the plan failed. If she believes you're gone, she might make a mistake. Say something incriminating. Try to finish the job with Michael. Chen pauses. I want to wire your husband's hospital room. See if Caroline visits. See what she says when she thinks no one's listening. You want to use Michael as bait. With his consent, yes. We've already talked to him. He's willing to do it. I think about this. About my mother-in-law, who smiled at our wedding while apparently resenting every moment. Who poisoned my coffee while planning to murder her own son. Who's walking free right now, thinking she's gotten away with it. Do it, I say. Wire the room. Let's catch her. The hospital agrees to cooperate. They set up hidden cameras and microphones in Michael's room, make it look like he's alone and vulnerable. Detective Chen and I watch from a monitoring station down the hall, waiting. Caroline arrives on Saturday afternoon, 2 days after the poisoning. She's carrying flowers and wearing black, her face carefully arranged into an expression of grief. She doesn't know Michael is recovering well, doesn't know he's awake and aware. She thinks she's visiting her dying son. She walks into the room, closes the door behind her, and approaches the bed. Michael has his eyes closed, pretending to sleep. Caroline sets down the flowers and just stands there, staring at him. I'm sorry it came to this, she says quietly. But you brought that woman into our family. You chose her over your own blood. Michael doesn't move. Caroline keeps talking, her voice low and bitter. Your father worked his whole life to build something for you, for us, and you were going to throw it all away on her, someone who doesn't understand family, who doesn't appreciate what we have. She touches his hand, and I see Michael flinch slightly. If she'd just died like she was supposed to, everything would be fine. You'd inherit everything. You'd move on. You'd find someone suitable. But she had to make you suspicious, didn't she? Had to poison you against me. You poisoned me, Mom. Michael's eyes open. Literally. Caroline jerks back, shock flashing across her face. You're awake. You thought I was dying. You thought I drank enough poison to kill me. Just like you planned to kill Claire. He sits up slowly, carefully. The police are recording this. Everything you just said. The color drains from Caroline's face. She looks around wildly, probably searching for cameras. No, you don't understand. I was just upset. I didn't mean... You said if she'd died like she was supposed to. You admitted it, Mom. You tried to kill my wife. She's not worthy of you. She's taking you away from me. From everything your father built. Dad left me the money because he trusted me to use it well. And I choose to share it with my wife. That's what marriage means. You don't know what you're saying. The poison has affected your thinking. The poison you put in Claire's coffee. The poison I drank by mistake. Michael's voice is shaking now, anger breaking through. You almost killed me and you're still making excuses. Detective Chen chooses this moment to walk in, 2 uniformed officers behind her. Caroline Hayes, you're under arrest for attempted murder. I watch from the monitoring station as they read Caroline her rights, as she protests and cries and tries to blame me for everything. Michael looks devastated but resolute. He's chosen truth over family loyalty, justice over denial. The trial happens 4 months later. The defense argues that Caroline was mentally unstable, that the stress of her husband's death pushed her to a breakdown. But the prosecution presents evidence of premeditation. Searches on Caroline's computer about untraceable poisons. Purchases of ethylene glycol from 3 different hardware stores using cash. Detailed notes about my daily routine. She planned this carefully, methodically. The woman who smiled at our wedding had been plotting my death for months, maybe longer. The jury deliberates for 2 days. They find her guilty on all counts: attempted murder, assault with intent to cause bodily harm, reckless endangerment. The judge sentences her to 23 years in prison. Michael and I sit in the courtroom as the sentence is read, holding hands. His mother doesn't look at us as they lead her away. I wonder if she's thinking about what she's lost. Her freedom, her son, her chance at the inheritance she killed for. I wonder if she regrets any of it, or if she still thinks she was somehow justified. I'll never know. Michael and I agree to have no contact with her going forward. She's written letters from prison, dozens of them, alternating between apologies and accusations. We don't read them. There's nothing she can say that would make this okay. 8 months after that terrible Thursday morning, I'm standing in the kitchen of our new house. We sold the townhouse. Neither of us could stand to live there anymore, and bought a place in Fremont with better locks, a security system, and no spare keys given to anyone. I'm making coffee, and I watch it like a hawk from bean to cup. I'll probably always watch my coffee now, always check for sediment, always smell for chemicals. Trauma changes you like that. It rewires your brain to see danger in ordinary things. But I'm here, alive. Drinking coffee in my own kitchen while Michael makes breakfast and our new dog, a German shepherd we named Watson because he's our own personal security guard, lies at my feet. We inherited Michael's father's estate. After legal fees and the costs of the trial, it's less than it was, but it's still substantial. We've set most of it aside in a trust for future children, if we decide to have them. The house in Ballard is up for sale. Neither of us can imagine living there, surrounded by memories of Caroline. My therapist says I'm doing remarkably well, all things considered. I've only had 3 panic attacks in the past month, down from 2 or 3 per week right after the arrest. I sleep better now. I don't jump at every unexpected sound. Michael is quieter than he used to be, more serious. He goes to therapy too, trying to process what his mother did, what she was willing to sacrifice for money. We're working through it together, building something new from the ashes of what we thought we had. Sometimes I think about that morning, about the sliding door moment when Michael grabbed my cup instead of making his own. If he'd been 5 seconds later, 5 seconds earlier, if I'd been in the kitchen when he took that first sip, would I have stopped him? Would we both have died? But he did grab it, and that terrible, accidental act of taking what wasn't his saved my life and exposed a truth we needed to know. That the smiling woman at family dinners, the doting mother-in-law, was capable of murder when money was at stake. I got a promotion at work last month. Senior software engineer, leading a team of 12. Salary increase that makes me feel genuinely proud. My boss mentioned during my review that I've shown remarkable resilience this year, professional growth despite personal challenges. If she only knew. Tessa comes over for dinner often now. She and Michael have developed an unlikely friendship, bonding over their shared experience of feeling betrayed by family. Her parents disowned her when she came out as gay 15 years ago. She understands what it's like to lose people you thought would always be there. How are you really doing? She asks me one evening, the 3 of us sitting on our back deck watching the sunset. I'm okay, I say, and I mean it. Some days are hard. Some days I'm angry or scared or sad about everything we lost, but most days I'm just grateful to be alive. That's not nothing, Tessa says. Gratitude after trauma is its own kind of victory. She's right. I'm not the same person I was 8 months ago. That woman was naive, trusting, completely unprepared for the cruelty people are capable of. This version of me is wiser, more cautious, more aware of how quickly normal can become nightmare, but I'm also stronger. I survived someone trying to kill me. I helped catch them. I testified in court, faced my would-be murderer, and watched justice happen. Not everyone gets that closure. Not everyone gets to see their attacker held accountable. Michael squeezes my hand, and I squeeze back. We're building something real now, something honest. No more pretending his family was normal. No more ignoring the warning signs we both saw but dismissed. We're facing reality head-on, whatever that looks like. My phone buzzes with a text from my actual mother, who lives in California. She's coming to visit next month. Wants to see the new house, meet Watson, spend time with us. She cried when I told her what happened. Flew up immediately to sit with me through the trial. Family isn't always the people you're born to. Sometimes it's the people who show up when everything falls apart. The sun sets over Seattle, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Watson barks at a squirrel. Michael laughs at something Tessa said. Coffee grows cold in my cup and I don't care. I'm here, alive, surrounded by people who actually love me instead of people who smile while planning my death. That's the thing about surviving someone's attempt to murder you. It clarifies what matters. The petty concerns, the small anxieties, the daily frustrations that used to consume me seem trivial now. I have a life I almost lost, and I'm not wasting another second of it on anything that doesn't matter. Caroline will spend the next 23 years in prison, thinking about the inheritance she killed for and lost anyway. The money she wanted so desperately will go to the grandchildren she'll never meet, the family she destroyed with her greed. And I'll be here, living the life she tried to take, drinking coffee without fear, building a future with someone who chose me over his mother, truth over comfort, love over money. The cup Michael drank that morning saved us both in different ways. It saved my life, literally, and it saved him from a lifetime of not knowing what his mother was capable of. Sometimes the worst things lead to the most important truths. I finish my coffee, cold now but safe, and go inside to start dinner. Watson follows, loyal guardian that he is. Michael is already in the kitchen, chopping vegetables, humming something off-key. This is my life now. Not perfect, not unmarked by trauma, but mine. Earned through survival, built on truth, protected by vigilance and love. And every morning when I make my coffee, I'm reminded, I'm here. I'm alive. Someone tried to poison me, but they failed. That's my story, and I get to keep writing it.